Welcome to another edition of your Midday Show with J.R. Bjornson. It is Friday, which means it's time for some Good News Friday. Does my echo button work? Friday! Yes, it does. All right, so coming up on Good News Friday, we're going to talk about my recent experience managing an open mic on my own on Heritage Day Monday. Why is that good news? Oh, trust me, it's got a great, happy ending. If you follow me on Facebook, you already know where this is going. But if you don't, check this out, right? Also, if you're not doing anything this weekend and you're in the Red Deer, Alberta, Canada area where I broadcast from, don't forget, it's the annual Spartan race coming up all weekend long from Saturday, August 8th to Sunday, August 9th. It's a weekend of Spartan races, people climbing walls, crawling through mud, running 5Ks from Heritage Ranch all the way to the, I believe, Kerrywood Nature Center here in Red Deer. All the full details are available on the Spartan Canada website. Now, let's get on with the show. What are we on? Episode 5 of Season 1 of The Midday Show with J.R. Bjornson. And here's my Good News Friday story. On Monday, it was Heritage Day, a day where we celebrate the various cultures of our fine country here in Canada. And it's an excuse for a lot of people to take the day off. And don't worry, a lot of the days off are kind of forced, because if you work, it might be a statutory holiday. I know my sister didn't work. I know her boyfriend didn't work. So I think a bunch of people didn't work. Anyway, I'm awkward. How are you? It was open mic night at our usual get-together, 50 North Pub and Eatery here in Red Deer, Alberta, 7474 Gates Ave. Shout out to 50 North for putting on open mic. Rain or shine, civic holiday or not, always, if it's a Monday, 50 North is open. And my goodness, am I appreciative. All of my fellow comedians weren't able to make it. The guy who actually runs the open mic came down with a bad case of the floozies. I think he was very ill, because we also had a show together on Tuesday in Airdrie, and he could not make it. He was down for the count. The referee counted up to 9, then 10, and he still didn't get up. So hope you feel better soon, Alex. And it was up to me. I was the only comic that actually showed up, because I don't have a 9-to-5 job. Next to this podcast, I just do comedy. So, yeah, I ended up showing up. I tried to work the PA system, I was like, is this thing on? But in reality, it sounded like absolutely nothing. It sounded like nothing, because I did not know how the pub's PA system worked. And I did turn on some switches, but nothing happened. So I turned those switches off, and I ran home and actually grabbed my system, the same system that we use here at the Midday Show with J.R. Bjornson Podcast Studios. It's a wireless mic, and if this guy ever loses battery, I do have a corded mic. And I learned a lot that day. The main thing that I learned was I can put on open mic if I have to, and as long as I use my own system, I can do it on my own. And it wasn't just that. It was also the fact that when I was about to start the show, there was only 3 people. After I gave the information, I said, hey, in about 10 minutes, we're going to do open mic. If you're interested in coming on stage, trying a few jokes, seeing if you can last, and even 1 minute, come on up. And I went around the bar for the 10 minutes leading up to the show, asking people, hey, you want to come on stage? As a fellow blind comic, if you bomb, I won't see you bomb. And when I say bomb, I mean fail. In the comedy world, when you have a bad night, they call that bombing, because you feel like an explosion went off and you're never going to heal from it. An explosion of your character, I guess. And what do you know it? I convinced 2 people to try. White shirt guy, which I found out later on his name is Kyle, so shout out to Kyle. And we also had the one guy who I called the 1 minute man, because he said, I got one joke and then I'll get off stage. And I said, yeah, you know what? It just takes one joke. And my goodness, did he ever impress his friends. So that night, it was full of so much humility and so much pride for me because I've been doing stand up comedy now for 9 years, coming up to 10 years in August 2027. And, you know, when you get used to performing comedy, you get used to having a promotions department. Like for me, I have diverse talent that schedules some of my comedy. And every now and then, I just have awesome, great fellow promoters like Clint Work, Joe King from Calgary. We have Johnny Pogo from Airdrie. I am such good friends, and they love my style of humor that they invite me at least once a year. And that's pretty much my version of promoting. Diverse talent, on the other hand, often sets me up with their talent that they also have available. And I'm not used to putting on my own shows or, getting things working. So on Monday, when none of the comics were able to show up because everybody took the night off, I was the only one that's like, I'm over here. Let's go. And, I was the only one that showed up. And I found out that night, this past Monday, that I can do it. If I can just get off my butt, I can actually put together a show in short moments instance. And I do have my own equipment. And it's one of those you step out of your comfort zone moments and you realize that you can do it. I was living off that high for about 3 days because I was just so excited that I was able to put on a show and have so much fun doing it that even if it was only a 45-minute show, it was the best 45 minutes ever, And if all my comedian locals were there, it would have been me and 7 other people. That's a classic 80-minute show at Red Deer Open Mic on Mondays. But for me to do it in 40 minutes, 45 tops, it was amazing. I had so much fun, and I'm gonna probably try my best to bring another open mic to Red Deer because now I have the proof of concept. And really, that's all you need is the proof of concept, the proof that you can do it. And I think that in itself is truly a beautiful thing. So that was my Good News Friday. If you want to share your Good News Friday, email me anytime, blindguycomedy@gmail.com. That is my direct email for this podcast and stand-up comedy gigs. You can email me anytime and tell me your stories. What happened to you that was considered good news? And also, if you don't mind, I might share that good news for next Friday, because it's always great to look back at one good thing that happened in the week that was your life, right? Because we have 52 weeks, and I know sometimes it can get hard, it can get frustrating, it could get downright sad, because that's just what it means to be a human. It means to be alive, what it means to be in existence. Not every day is going to be a great day, but if you do your best, it's going to be a day that you're going to remember. Anyway, if you could tell, we got new channel art here at the Midday Show with J.R. Bjornson. I made that with Canva. I know, right? He's breaking the fourth wall. In audio, that's the fourth wall, rubbing the mic. So I'm actually talking into the mic that I was in, which was taken from in that photo. This is just a common wireless mic, and we're using a soundboard. So let me know what you think. Is this better than the DJI Mic 3, which we've been using for the past 4 episodes, or do you prefer this one? I kind of like this one because I can actually wear headphones with this one. This is nice. All right, that is my time. If you're not busy in Red Deer, we also have the Filipino festival coming up in Red Deer. Let me quickly grab my phone here, because I'm trying to remember, is it called the Filipino Festival or is it called something else? Give me a quick minute here. We're not going to edit this podcast either. We're just going to go raw, because no one is this good to do everything like, you know what I mean? So yes, it is called the Filipino Music and Food. The Filipino Music and Food Festival, happening in Red Deer. You can find out more information by simply searching in your favorite search engine if you're in the Red Deer area, the Filipino Food the Filipino Music and Food Festival. All right, that about does it here at the Midday Show with J.R. Bjornson. As always, we do take our weekends off. Thank you for making us a big part of your Monday to Friday commute. And remember, you can tell your friends about us anytime by leaving a review wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, sharing the podcast, because sharing the podcast means we'll have more than we already do have. And hey, that'd be cool. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.